Good afternoon and welcome to the Ultimate Racing League and the GrTwodays Championship season. We are here at the Yas Marina circuit in Abu Dhabi on Yas Island, and we are with the League 2 guys for this championship race. I'll take you down through the grid in just a second, but first we'll have a quick rundown through the championship standings for you, as this is the penultimate race of the season. So in first place and with a hefty championship lead, we have HKRT Damien on 152 points, with Pablo Jr. in second on 109 points, Muhammad Ali there in third on 100 points, and behind him, only 3 points back, is HKRT Paris on 97 points. SRT Sue is in fifth place on 88 points, and Rufus is on 85 points just behind him. The rest of the guys are a few points back by virtue of having missed a couple of races. So let's talk you down through the grid before we get this race underway. They've been through qualifying, and SRT Sue has come out on top. So great battle last week at the Red Bull Ring, trying to fight back with his strategy, took it right down to the wire, but unfortunately had to settle for second place. Can he take the race win here at Yas Marina? He starts on pole, so he's in the prime position for it. In second place, we got HKRT Damien, our championship leader, and he is in second on the grid, so a great position to really stamp that final hopeful victory for him in the championship race. Teddy Milt then back on the grid in third place. Fourth, we have Muhammad Ali up there fighting for second place in the championship, also with HKRT Paris, who is qualified fifth just behind him. So that's going to be a little battle for this week's race. Sixth place, we got HKRT Speed Demon, MST Shadow in seventh. Boyland back on the grid in eighth. Pablo Jr. disappointing qualifying second in the championship at the moment, but sat back in ninth place on the grid. Really unfortunate qualifying for him. So he's got a lot of work to do to battle back through the field and try and get the points on the board for that second place. And finally, at the back of the grid, we got Vane. So, no further ado, let's get the race underway. And the lights go out and away they go. HKRT Damien chasing down Sue in turn one. Let's see if they all get through nice and cleanly. Oh, we've lost Muhammad Ali early on. What happened to Muhammad Ali there? We haven't even got the race underway. So he's gone through. Is there any contact? Let's go back to the race start. Let's have a little look round turn one. Really unusual to see anybody lose it that early on turn one. Oh, he's got cold hard tyres on, and he's just got a bit too keen on the throttle, and he's lit the rear end up, and he's pointing in the wrong direction. I guess the only advantage is early on, so there's still 29 laps to try and bridge that gap back. So he's got a lot of work to do. Stu's starting to create a bit of a gap there between himself and Damien in second. Damien with Tiddy Milk for company. Cut to right in behind him as they head down towards the chicane for the first time. Tiddy Milk all over the back, having a little look left and right, but nothing doing there. As Stu looks to get that chicane horribly wrong, and they've all bunched up again now as they head down towards the long sweeping left-hand hairpin at the bottom part of the track. So not quite close enough to be looking to make a move as they come through to finish the hotel complex for the last part for the first time in this race. Put my teeth back in. Paris there in fourth, fifth. Oh, we've lost MST Shadow there. Or have we? That was what's going on there? Who's off the track? So MST Shadow then, oh, he's gone for a move on Speed Demon on the brakes, but he's had to back out of it. And now Hoyland is coming back at MST Shadow. Little bit of a nudge. He's held back and let the place go back to Shadow, and hasn't managed to get through. But battling already underneath the hotel complex there, these guys, and they are not giving any quarter to anyone this early on in the race. Somebody needs to remind them it's a 29-lap race, and there's 2 pit stops still to come. Perhaps working together might be a better option, but this is great to watch as they come around to start lap 2 with Hoyland and Pablo Jr. battling it out around the right-hander, this fast sweeping right-hander there, and on down towards the hairpin. Hoyland looked like he went a bit deep there, but he's cut back in quite nicely. Pablo Jr. tucked up behind him in 8th place. Oh, looking a little bit tight, waiting for somebody else to make a mistake at this point. How's Muhammad Ali going? He's well off the back of the pack, so he's got a lot of work to do. As Siu now comes out the exit of the chicane with a comfortable couple of car lengths there on Damien. Damien stretching out in front of Titty Milk. Paris coming along in 4th. Speed Demon up to 5th. 6th, Hoyland. MST Shadow there in 7th. Pablo Jr. I think we've missed a move there. As Pablo Jr. sends it up the inside of MST Shadow there, and he gets the move done long before the entrance into the hotel complex. Great stuff there from Pablo, but MST Shadow coming back at him as he moves to the outside, and he goes a bit deep there, and he's looks like he probably picked up a bit of gravel, and Pablo Jr. gets a bit of breathing space as they head round to complete lap 2. Vane just biding his time back there in 9th place, just watching these guys battling out, and Muhammad Ali hoping they keep slowing each other down so he can get back up and in the mix. So Siu and Damien looking to clear off a little bit, with Titty Milk still there or thereabouts, keeping them honest, keeping them true to their pace. And a bit of a gap growing back to Paris now from the top 3 guys at the moment. It's all starting to spread out. It looks like Muhammad Ali was looming in the rearview mirror there of Vane. I think he looked a lot closer than he actually was. So he's still got plenty of work to do. The Siu now comes round the long sweeping hairpin. Underneath the hotel complex for the 3rd time in this race, as these guys look to, I think they're sort of managing their pace at the moment, managing their fuel, their tyres, just to get that first stint under their belts, keeping their noses clean, and keeping it nice and tidy, making sure they don't make any mistakes. And it's all settled down a little bit as everybody looks to settle into their own races. Have a little look down through and see what sort of strategies these guys are running. So Siu out in front on the medium compound tyre, followed by Damien also on the medium tyre. So this is down to individual performance, not the compound, how these guys are performing. Titty Milk also on the mediums in 3rd place. Paris, the first of the hard runners, in 4th. And keeping Speed Demon at bay in 5th, so great stuff from Paris there to be getting some pace out of the hards, and keeping the guys behind at bay. Hoyland there in 6th on the medium tyres, tucking right up in behind Speed Demon there through the chicane. Pablo is on the soft, so he's obviously put those on with the idea of trying to get through the field as quick as possible, but he hasn't found it easy so far, so those soft tyres have got a couple more good laps in them, but then they're going to start hurting his lap times. So he's going to have to get a move on and get on up after Hoyland and Speed Demon. MST Shadow on the mediums, Vane on the hards, and Muhammad Ali probably his only saving grace as he is starting to gradually make his way back to the guys in front. He's on the hard tyres, so that is going to give him a fighting chance, because this hard compound tyre is going to be taken off at the first stop, and then he'll have the faster, mediums or softs to choose from in either order for the remaining part of the race. As we get back up to Sue out in front, with Damien in second and City Milk just behind in third. These guys really looking to stretch out their lead at this early stage of the race. And as you can see on the mini map at the top, a substantial lead brewing now, with Paris being on the hard compound tyre and being about over a second a lap slower at this moment in time. Paris not coming under any pressure from the medium tyre runners behind him either, so although that might have been a little bit too soon, as Speed Demon looks to be settling into his rhythm and looking at, oh, there's a lot of tyre swill there. We've lost one of the drivers, have we? Oh, we've lost Hoyland. Really unfortunate from Hoyland. He's been showing some good stuff for the last few races. Had a little bit of a wobble early on in the season, but he's kept turning up and he's kept putting those performances in. He's got that chicane wrong, and yeah, he's spun him round. He saved it from hitting the barrier, so he won't have any damage, but he is dropping down the field. I think, is he going to get out in front of Muhammad? Yeah, it looks like he's just about going to hold on to that position from Muhammad Ali, but the really unfortunate thing from Hoyland there, a little bit of a mistake, but again, he's mixing it with the guys, which is something he wasn't doing earlier on in the season, so it's great to see somebody coming good towards the end of the season. As we go back up to the top three guys who are really clearing off into the distance now on those medium tyres. Sue with the fastest lap of the race of 42.8. Closely being matched by Damien in second place. Tilly Milk there in third. Actually got some really quicker lap times than Damien across the last three laps. If it wasn't for his lap 2, he'd be right up there with him, and he's gone purple by 2/10 in that first sector there on lap 6. So Tilly Milk, a man on a mission now. He's looking to make moves. We'll see if he manages to get one done on our championship leader, Damien. Paris, a little bit of a lonely race there for Paris now. HKRT Speed Demon dropping back a little bit, and Pablo Jr. there now up into 6th on those soft tyres, but MST Shadow looking menacing behind him in 7th. Vane now up to 8th as a result of Hoyland's mistake, and Muhammad Ali has got somebody to focus on now to try and drag himself back into the race. As these three are still battling tooth and nail with their lap times more than anything. They are literally trading blows every lap being very similar. They're so evenly matched, it would have seemed, around this track on the same compound of tyres. So what will happen going forward in this race, we will find out. MST Shadow still keeping Pablo Jr. on his toes, looming large in his rearview mirrors. Those soft tyres now start to hurt Pablo's lap times. and he is struggling quite a bit at the minute for grip by the look of it, and those lap times are off the pace considering MST Shadow on the mediums is running similar lap times. So Pablo Jr. needs to get his head stuck into this and try and find some pace in that car and in those tyres. As does Vane, but he's on the hard tyres. As Hoyland now looking to come back at Vane after his earlier spin. Ahmed Ali there just keeping an eye on things, just glad that there's some company up ahead for him. We'll head back up to the top of the field with Sue, Damien and Tiddy Milk still in first, second and third. So every lap Tiddy Milk taking a little bit of time out of Damien, but it does look like perhaps this lap will be a little bit different as Damien crosses the line for a fastest lap of the race, 42.5, followed by Tiddy Milk, who's done a 44.4. I thought that gap had grown rather than shrunk, and it had by quite some margin, 2 seconds between the guys on that last lap. I wonder if Tiddy Milk made a bit of a mistake, or did he just have an off lap, which we are all prone to every now and again. So he's going to have to get his head back down and focused on the rear end of that NSX up ahead. But it does look like the spirit has been broken a little bit there by Damien, and he's off up the road after Tsu. These two resuming battle from last week, where they were on the strategy. Tsu had an excellent turn of speed for his last stint of the race, and was reeling in Damien, chasing down that race win, but he just ran out of laps and ran out of time and made a mistake, which resulted in him having to settle for second place. I don't think he's going to be happy settling for second here though, as he had also put it on pole last week at the Red Bull Ring. So on pole here at Yas Marina, and now has them try and make this stick. Force 2.9 there for Sue, and a Force 2.9 for Damien. Some times being matched, but Tiddy Milk has dropped well off the pace now, 44.8. It seems to be that he's either those tyres are causing him some grief, or he's just lost his focus a little bit, because he's dropping well off the back of the guys ahead. As we have our first pit stop, Pablo Jr. coming into the pits then to get rid of the soft tyre compound at the end of lap 8. So starting lap 9, what tyres has he gone for his second stint? So Pablo out on the medium compound tyre, so he will have the slower hard compound tyre to finish his race on. So that is going to be interesting to see how he gets on with that at the end of the race. Let's see if he can undercut anybody after coming in for that tyre change. Sue and Damien now coming round to finish lap 9. Pretty much as you were with regards to the gap. Nothing changing too much. These two so well evenly matched. 43.0 to 43.1, so a tenth in it, and on to lap 10 we go. So we got HKRT Paris into the pits. Get rid of the hard compound tyre, I believe. Hardly any wear on those tyres, and that's, oh no, it's already changed because he's now refueling, so the bars have already gone back up. So he's going to drop down through the pack, but the rest of the guys still to play for. So Muhammad Ali there, now latching onto the back of Vane, and it's going to be looking to make a move and start making some progress through the field. Now he's latched onto the back, although these two are a long way back from MST Shadow up ahead, who is also putting the pressure now on Speed Demon. Oh, we do appear to have lost Hoyland, so he must have disconnected, because he's just dropped off of my list there and out of the race. So really unfortunate for Hoyland that he's had that disconnect there and dropped out of this race. I was hoping he was going to keep his head down and be able to get those laps in, but unfortunately technology has had other ideas by the looks of things. Oh, as MST Shadow goes deep there and has to avoid HKRT Speed Demon as they come around to complete lap 10, and the pressure on Speed Demon is there. Is Shadow going to be able to keep that pressure on and get a move done on this next lap? Let's see how Damien's doing against you. So Damien with a 43.5 on the last lap, 43.7 for Stu, so another 2/10 out, and you can see those 2/10 where they've gone, with Damien now right on the back end of Stu's NSX as they head down towards the chicane, under braking, and Stu just holds on there, keeps it nice, clean and tidy, and no way through there for Damien as they head on down towards the sweeping and left-hand hairpin. Really nothing to separate these two guys at the minute. Lap time's pretty much identical all the way down through. So this is going to be a race-long battle unless one of them decides to do something different with their strategy, like Stu did last week. And across the line, so 143.5, 143.7 again for Stu. So another 2/10 out of Stu's lead there. So. It is getting closer between these guys. Damien's winding up now to put that pressure well and truly on as they come down towards the hairpin. Is there going to be a move from Damien? So he's just sort of biding his time a little bit, chipping away at the lead, but he's going to have the slipstream all the way down towards the chicane. Is he going to make a lunge down into the chicane? I don't think he's close enough. No, he's not close enough, so he's going to have to keep where he is at the minute as Stu gets through that first part of the chicane nicely and through and out onto the exit. Lovely stuff. Well, let's see how Speed Demon and Shadow are doing. Speed Demon looking to have broken the challenge there of Shadow, as we head back up to see if there is any way Damien can find a way past SRT Stu. All over the back of him through the hotel complex. Apologies for the tail end of that yawn there. It's not representative of this race. It's just caught me by surprise there as they come round now to start lap 13 of this 29 lap race. 43.5 for Damien and 43.8 for Stu. So another 3/10 gone, and Damien is now closing right up to the rear end of this of Stu's NSX And you'd have to have, if he keeps it clean through the first part of this race, first part of this lap, you'd have to think Damien is going to have a go and have a look up the inside of Sue into either into the chicane or on the exit towards the hairpin. Under brake in, this is where Damien closes right up, but Sue carrying a bit more speed this time, but it has compromised the second part of the chicane for him, and Damien has closed up a little bit more onto the rear end of Sue there. And nothing really given here, so it's a really tough one to call this, because these two have been so closely matched in all the other races, and Sue is going to be a man on the mission, bit between his teeth to try and make sure that he gets this race win this time around, after missing out on the race win last time out at Red Bull Ring. They go across the start finish line and start lap 14, 43.5 for Sue, 43.8 for Damien, so 3/10 the other way that lap. So literally blow for blow, tit for tat, and I think this is going to be all race as Titty Milk now comes in to change off of his medium tyre. And while we've been watching that, it looks like Muhammad Ali has made his way past Vane. So Muhammad Ali making moves. MST Shadow and Titty Milk. MST Shadow joins Titty Milk in the pits even. So he's dropped back from now Speed Demon, who's got a bit of clear space in front of him and even more clear space behind him. So he can get his head down and focus on the task at hand now without having to worry about MST Shadow trying to take him. Muhammad Ali coming in to get rid of those hard tyres. It's a long, hard stint for Muhammad Ali. I've got to be honest, that might come back to bite him. The hard tyres didn't need to be ran that long in race one, in League One's race, so he might come to regret that. But we shall see. Vane also doing the same. He's come in on the hard tyres, so. As they're going to come out of the pits, MST Shadow coming out on the hard compound tyre. Muhammad Ali going to be coming out behind him. Is he going onto the softs and having a blast on the softs, or is he going to stick to the long game, come out on the mediums? Come out on the mediums. So Muhammad Ali on the medium tyres, as now we have Sue and Damien into the pits. Sue is saved. So that's a really interesting side note as Vane comes out on the medium tyres. So Sue has been saved. I think it was about 4 or 5% more fuel than Damien in that first stint. So Sue is going to come out of this pit stop with a much bigger gap than he went into it with, in theory. So that is going to be one to watch. As Sue is now short filled on 62%, Damien taking on a further 3% fuel. So that is going to increase the gap even further. So Sue might have this one under control. As he comes out on what compound tyre, or is he going to be on? The hard compound tyres are getting that done nice and early, getting that done before the soft compound tyres, so off he goes as Damien comes out on the soft, so they are changing it up. So here we go then, Damien coming out on the soft tyres. What can he do to put some dents into that time that Damien is, that Sue has now eked out? Can he get the move done before the final pit stop? And if he can he then hold on the hard tyres? If he can't get this done on this stint before Sue goes in to get the soft tyres, you'd have to think that Sue has this race wrapped up, barring any mistakes. So watch this space. So we've just seen a place change there. Let's have a little look. Oh, so it's coming out of the pits. So Speed Demon coming out on the cold hard tyres. Pablo already up to speed on the warm mediums. and Speed Demon not fighting that one, but Pablo does go deep, but he's going to have the grip on the exit to get the power down and on up to the chicane. Pablo moving to the inside defensive line towards the chicane, closes that opportunity for Speed Demon to come back at him. Speed Demon going hard, late on the brakes there, but he gets the car stopped and turned, and now he's right up in behind that NSX of Pablo, chasing him down to try and get that place back. Paris now inheriting third position on the medium tyres. Teddy Milk down into fourth on the hard tyres. So Paris has jumped Teddy Milk in the pit stop phase. MST shadowed back in seventh. Really difficult to see how this is going to pan out with the different strategies that are unfolding as we watch. I don't think any of these guys are in their net positions, so we shall see what happens when they come in to make their final stops. Muhammad Ali back there with nobody out for company, Vane dropping off the back, so Muhammad Ali's got plenty of clear air to make good use of those medium tyres. What can he do to try and drag himself further up the table? As we head back up to Sue and Damien in one lap, 2 laps even. Sue has been hemorrhaging time really to 1 lap to Damien, and Damien is right back up onto the rear of Sue. So what has Sue got in his locker to defend against the chasing Damien? As they come underneath the hotel complex for the 16th time. And he's much closer there. So what you'd expect really, the soft compound tyre making all the difference in those more intricate corners. And that has allowed Damien to get right up on the rear wing now of Sue with the fastest lap of the race of a 42.0 on those soft tyres. What has he got now to get past Sue and get on up the road? Battling bumper to bumper through the first part of this lap. Those soft tyres will hold on much better around the faster sweeping corners. Now on the brakes into the hairpin. You'd expect Damien to have a much cleaner exit with the more grippy soft tyres. And he's going to be in that slipstream. Is he going to make a move before the chicane or into the chicane, or is he going to have to wait? As he closes up, he has a little jink, but he has made the decision to sit behind Sue and just tuck in there, keep him on his toes, and now he's going to have another run down towards the next hairpin to have a go, but he has dropped back. Like Sue got a really good exit out of the chicane with Damien being compromised by the pace that Sue has to take on those hard tyres, as Sue has to take a much slower pace through that hairpin, and Damien now moves to the outside of Sue, and he's going to try and carry that outside line all the way around, but Sue is going to have the tighter inside line, and he does hold on through that section of this track. As they come around to the final 2 turns to start lap 18 of this 29 lap race. And Damien right underneath that rear wing now. He's not somewhere you want to make a move into turn 1, so he's going to have to hold station there a little bit. Hugh goes a little bit wide, and now Damien goes up, sends it up the inside into turn 2. Great move there from Damien. Saw the opportunity, the door was open. We'll watch that back again because that was a cracking move. Sue just got the exit all wrong, left that door wide open on the inside, and Damien said thank you very much, and on he went and straight through that door. Now what can he do to stretch that gap on those soft tyres to make it so that when Damien goes in for his soft tyres and for his hard tyres, and Sue goes in for his softs, what is the gap going to be when they come back out? This could be another barnstormer strategy, toe-to-toe battle between these two this race, so watch this space. Going to peace out for a little bit, so let's go down and have a look, see how the rest of the field are getting on. Perez still solidifying third place. Good stuff from him. That's going to be a handy haul of championship points for him. City Milk down in fourth. Was running with the top three guys for the first sort of 8-9 laps. Had some really good strong pace, and then just started to fall away. Really unfortunate, and unfortunate to see for City Milk there. But it is what it is, and he's got a lot of work to do now to try and get in that podium spot, as Perez looks to be making that his own at this moment in time. Pablo Jr. getting a little bit wrong on the exit there. He's in fifth place, comfortably ahead of HKRT Speed Demon, dropping back, and then MST Shadow, who again was battling hard at the pointy end of this grid. Really, it's just fallen away a little bit as he's been on the hard compound tyre, and towards the end of his medium tyre stint on stint 1. So really unfortunate for him, and Muhammad Ali hasn't really been able to do much since his spin early at turn 1, on the exit of turn 1, and he is going to have to settle for somewhere lower down the grid this time out. It does look like, unfortunately for him. So Damien posting another low 42 and pulling away from Sue at this stage. How that looks after the next pit stop, we shall see. We're going to be approaching that. 11 laps to go, including this one. Sue dropping back a little bit more. He's looks like he's perhaps struggling a little bit on those hard tyres, but still the softs to come. As you can see on the mini map, all 9 drivers spread out quite well on this track. So as the light starts to fade here in Yas Marina, on Yas Island even, the lighting around the hotel complex and around the rest of the track starts to come on. These cars start to come alive under the floodlights of Yas Marina, and the surrounding lighting just sets the skyline alive with vibrant colours and some incredible backdrops as we watch Sue take us round lap 20 of this 29 lap race. And while we're watching this and everything's settled down, the opportunity for me to just say thank you very much everyone who tunes in and takes their time to watch the commentary from these races. These guys put in a lot of effort to get their cars and get on the grid here and entertain you all, as well as fight for their own pride and championship positions. If you do find yourself thinking, I'd love to get involved, these look like a great bunch of guys to race with, I want to be part of it, drop your name in the comments, or get on to our Facebook page, the Ultimate Racing League on Facebook, as Stu surprises us by going purple on the hard tyres, so he's starting to find some pace there. But yeah, get on to our Facebook page, the Ultimate Racing League, and put your name forward for any of our leagues that we are currently running. We have a variety of different leagues to suit different people, but if you do think you can take it to these guys and get on the track and push these guys hard, then or if you just fancy having a go and seeing what it's all about, then just get in touch and we'll get you involved. As remarkably, Sue now has just done his fastest lap on of the race on those hard tyres. That was one hell of a lap, it has to be said, of 42.7, and he is not letting Damien get too far away. So this could still come back to Sue in this race. Sue is Damien with some great lap times, but Sue still looming there, and still has the soft tyres to come, which I would imagine he will be putting on at the end of this lap, going by how things went in the League One race. Those hard tyres don't look particularly comfortable, but he's making good use of them. He's only 7/10 off of Damien's best lap of the race on the soft tyres. The Sue clearly has some serious pace underneath him. It's just a matter of whether he can put it to use and make the strategy work in his favour. As you can see now, the hotel roof, incredible piece of engineering, that hotel roof, lighting up the night sky with those incredible shades of purple and blue for everyone to enjoy. Oh, and we have Damien into the pits. Damien is now stopped for to get rid of those soft tyres, which feels like it might be a bit early. When did he come in? He put them on lap 15. No, so yeah, 15's last. Oh no, that's about right. 8 laps on the softs. But Sue has carried on. So Sue has carried on for another lap on the hard tyres, which is a bit strange. I would have thought he might, but maybe he feels like he could go even further with some decent pace. I mean, he used to say that. I mean, he's less than a tenth off of his best lap on the hards, which is only 7/10 off of Damien's best lap on the softs. But Damien could well hemorrhage time then as he comes out on the hard tyres. So this could be still one to watch, as Paris also into the pits to get rid of his mediums. But I think we will see Sue coming into the pits at the end of this lap. We will then have 7 laps to run those soft tyres and push them to their absolute limit. Have a little wander down through the field, see how things are going for the rest of the field. Silly Milk holding on to that 3rd spot there. He's still got to come in. Not holding on to it, I should say. Paris obviously pitted from 3rd, so half-second time penalty for Tilly Milk as well, which he will serve on the next straight after the chicane, which could give Pablo Jr. the impetus to get by, or at least a run with him as he started to make his way up through the field. HKRT Speed Demon in 5th, MST Shadow then in 6th, with Paris obviously just coming back out of the pits, now just ahead of Muhammad Ali, and Vane coming up the rear in 9th as Sue comes round. Sue has come round to start another lap. So another lap from Sue then on the hard tyres. Wonder if we've missed something. No, he hasn't. He's not got enough fuel. So he's going to have to. He's running these hard tyres long, which I think is damaging the chance he had to overhaul Damien here, which is a real shame if that is how it pans out. Maybe he knows something we don't, but it's not what we saw in League One, so I would have to say that he's going to have to come in at the end of this lap anyway because of the fuel. But he is going to only have to fuel for a very limited number of laps, and he will then be able to run absolutely pedal to the metal on the soft tyres, but it will only be for 5 laps. So, well, this could be a bit of a barnstormer, or it could be a damp squib. We shall see. He's purple again on his best lap though, on the hard tyres. Now, how's Damien getting on the hard tyres as well? What sort of lap time is he going to put in for lap 1, I wonder? So his out lap was a 2:14. And if we look down, so 2:17 for Sue on his out lap back on lap 15. So there was 2 to 3 seconds there as he does now come into the pits. So where is Damien? The Damien is just coming round to go underneath the hotel complex now. Is that enough of a gap when tyres have gone on If fuel is going in, is this going to be enough for Sue to get out ahead of Damien? As Damien now comes round the final corner, Sue not quite done with refueling, but Sue will be on the soft compound tyre, so now Sue's finished refueling. Where is he going to come out? So he's just coming out underneath the pit tunnel now, and it does look like Damien has got the jump on him. So Sue not quite out of the pits, and he has got a lot of time to make up. Really unfortunate for Sue there. I think he has run. Yeah, he's a long way back from Damien now. Despite having that pace on the hard tyres, he has missed a trick there, and he has run far too long. And well, you'd have to say he's thrown away a race win there with his stint there on the hards, because the softs do last for a lot longer and are much quicker. But who knows? Damien only managed a 42.0 on the soft tyres. And we've already seen on the hard tyres, Sue managed a 42.7. So if he could take a couple of seconds a lap out of Damien, we might still see a battle to the end. We shall have to hold our breath and wait and see. Graham Ali now into the pits. Titty Milk out of the pits, and he has kept that place above Perez. So the strategy coming good for Titty Milk. Both of these guys are on the soft tyres, so this is now going to be a battle to the end for these two for that final spot on the podium. This could be where our battle is at. Can Perez get that final spot on the podium, or is Titty Milk going to hold on? Not really close enough to be thinking about making any form of moves. He's going to have to start taking some time out of Titty Milk if he's going to have that chance. But let's see what their lap times are as they come across the line. So we got 42.0. Oh, that's going to spice things up. We got a half-second time penalty for Titty Milk. That is really unfortunate for Titty Milk, but Perez is going to have the whites of his eyes wide and lighten up, looking at that message when he can see it. 42.0 that last lap for Titty Mill, 43.1. So Perez did lose a whole second on that last lap, but now Perez is purple, so Perez is 2.5 tenths up. He must have seen the half-second time penalty, and he's gone, I'm having this podium, let's go. And he is off up the road after Titty Milk. What can he do? As it looks like we've got a little battle brewing now between Speed Demon and Pablo. That looks like it might be a short-lived one, with Speed Demon on the soft tyres with Pablo on the hard. So Speed Demon, is he going to make a move before the chicane? He looks to move to the inside, but he thinks better of it and backs off and rolls in behind Pablo. Gets through the chicane nice and cleanly. High up on the rear wing of Pablo, and off down the straight they go. Is he going to get a move done into the fast sweeping left-hand hairpin? Oh, a little bit of late brake in there, and it's just caught him out a little bit. He had to have a little jink to bail and make sure he didn't make contact with Pablo, as they now come around the fast right-handers towards the hotel complex, and under braking. No, MST Shadow wanted a piece of this as well. MST Shadow has pulled right up onto the back of both of these guys, and he is also on the soft tyres. So HKRT Speed Demon has gone from being the aggressor to having to defend, and Pablo has managed to stretch out a tenth or so to give him a little bit of breathing space, which is really needed for him at this stage. So as they cross the line to start lap 26, 4 laps to go. Defensive line there from Pablo meant that Speed Demon got caught out, and then MST Shadow had to back out as well. So these guys are going to be battling tooth and nail to the end of this race, I think. Pablo's going to have it's going to be one hell of a performance from Pablo if he can hold on those hard tyres, as he is struggling for pace and grip at the minute, and he's clearly holding these two behind him up. But if one gets through, the other gets through, and then it'd be a battle between Speed Demon and MSD Shadow. So great stuff from these guys. Clean, hard racing at the moment as they're nose to nose. Couldn't even see where the cars were. As HKR Speed Demon, put my teeth back in, moves to the inside, but Shadow fancies a bit. Now Shadow on the back. Oh, Shadow caught out there, and Speed Demon couldn't quite get past Pablo, but he's tucked right up in behind the rear wing now of Pablo as they head off up. Everything happening in that little complex, couldn't even keep up with it, as he now moves to the inside and he takes that inside line around the fast sweeping left hand hairpin. He gets the move done, and now MST Shadow is going to be keen to get on after him as well, but I don't think he's got the move done. No, he has not. So MST Shadow going to have to wait for the other side of the hotel complex. Can Speed Demon stretch that lead out, give himself a bit of a buffer from the chasing Shadow there? Let's see what happens as they come around the final bend. Nice clean entry and exit from Speed Demon. Pablo Jr. then holding off MST Shadow for now as they come into the braking zone for turn 1. Pablo, nicely done, but I think Shadow's got the inside line, and he has. Shadow with the inside line, he's got the move done into turn 2, and that was a great move there from Shadow to get that car up the inside through that wide open door, and nothing Pablo could do about it with those hard tyres not having the same level of grip. And Shadow will now get on up the road after Speed Demon. Is Pablo going to have a go back? I don't think he's going to have either the grip or the be close enough to make a move. So, Shadow has got a really dodgy exit there on the chicane, and that's given Pablo the run on him. So Pablo is going to make a move. He's gone up the inside. He's taken that inside line as they come down towards the fast left-hand hairpin. Who's going to hold their nerve as they go round? Pablo keeping that inside line. MST Shadow running around the outside. And MST Shadow gets a run off with those soft tyres, the extra grip, giving him all the benefit. And he holds that inside line, and then Pablo has to come in behind. It looked like might have been a bit of contact, but nothing happened. And MST Shadow has just about managed to hold on to the position he'd taken at the early part of this lap. And I think he'll be thanking his lucky stars they didn't cost him that position, because he's now got the opportunity to get back on, get his head back down and on up the road after Speed Demon. Let's go up and see where Paris is in relation to Titty Milk. It looks like Titty Milk has got Paris's number there, stretching that gap out and looking to hold on to that third place on the podium. Now, where is Sue in relation to Damien? Oh, he's closing up, so we're coming round under the hotel section for the penultimate time, and Damien has got Sue coming back at him like he did last week at Red Bull. It's just such a shame that Sue did not come in and get on these soft tyres sooner, but Sue is going to be gunning for Damien on this last lap of the race. Damien with a 43.1, but it looks like Sue might have killed his tyres a bit too early. 43.5, so Damien managed to pull out 4/10 in that last lap. Some great lap times from Sue, taking the fastest lap of the race with a 41.0, but I think he's left himself with far too much to do and has killed the sauce. Maybe that's something that he had in mind when he did extend on the hards, that he wasn't confident in those soft tyres lasting and decided it was not easier but quicker for him to extend that hard tyre compound stint and see what he can manage. But yeah, unfortunately it does look like those soft tyres they have run out of grip, and I think that is the end of our battle for the lead on the final lap of this race. Titty Milk is holding on to third, with Paris having dropped even further back now. B Demon looks to be holding on to fifth, with Shadow a little bit further back as well. Pablo with Muhammad Ali for company. So these two battling for second place in the championship. This is really important for Muhammad. So Muhammad's going to want to get that extra point ahead of Pablo to make some inroads into his lead in second place in the championship. So that's going to be a really important final bit for this race, as Damien now comes around the final turn to take the checker flag. Great win from Damien, holds on to that championship lead comfortably, as Dio, unlucky for him, comes across the line in second place. But a great race, a great battle between those two, and thoroughly enjoyable. But Damien coming out on top again. I'm sure Sio is going to be absolutely champing at the bit to get to Canada and really make the extra effort to get that race win from Damien at the last race of the season. As Titty Milk now comes around for a great third place. Great stuff from Titty Milk. Little drift on the exit there, flash of the lights, and across the line for third place on the podium, although he does appear to have disappeared off my list. Paris is showing his third, but that's not what happened. So Paris will take fourth. His car, Speed Demon, is still holding off Shadow. Shadow goes wide. He's going to pick up a penalty for that. So Speed Demon is going to come across the line for fifth place. MST Shadow in sixth. Pablo does take seventh from Muhammad Ali. And Muhammad Ali is seventh, in eighth even, and Vane now coming round to finish the race in ninth, what will be ninth place. And that is your race. Thank you very much for tuning in, everybody. It's been a pleasure to bring this race to you. Thank you to the drivers for some great, fantastic, clean racing. And we shall look forward to seeing you next week at the Circuit de Villeneuve in Canada, Montreal in Canada, for the final race of the season. Once again, thank you for watching. Tune in next time.